Adam Rosenberg here for Fro Knows Photo. I'm going to go through some of your edits of the photograph I took of my dear friend David Anker. I gotta say, I liked a lot of them, and I didn't like a lot of them, but you guys are pretty talented. I was surprised not to see as many tight crops on his face as I would have liked to have seen, but, you know, whatever. So we'll start with this first one by... I'm going to murder your name, so I apologize in advance. Aurelien Chauvet. I think this is gorgeous. I think that the richness of the blacks really take this photo to another level. And if you look onto the left, the highlight onto the shirt really stands out. Now, the interesting part about this really is the eyes. Something was done to the eyes to make them pop out. And it actually reminds me of the old movie The Exorcist, where they used that effect to kind of make a creepy, shadowy guy come out. Anyway, moving on. The next one is by A. Waltz. It's softened up. Some of the colors are muted, but I think it's gorgeous again. The table, you really showed the richness of the wood. Love the cigarette. Sorry I'm not smoking on camera with you guys right now. But anyway, moving on. Benjamin Duncan. Just a solid black and white conversion. I like it. Good job. Cagdis Yaldis. I love the cool temperature of this. It's very nice. It reminds me of a monochromatic, but obviously it's not. Even the table is still cool, yet a little bit warmer. Oh, by the way, I'm in the middle of a move right now, so if I sound a little tired and not so, you know, woohoo, it's because I am tired. Eraserhead. First off, if you're a David Lynch fan, aces. That's part of the reason why I picked your photo. The other is, I really love his shadowy face coming out, and you can almost see nothing behind it. I love when figures actually fade off into the background, and you can't tell when the person begins or ends, and the background does. So solid work. And the focus on the hand holding the cigarette with all the wrinkles and the veins, it's really nice. This is outrageous and made me laugh, so I had to put it up here. I'm not going to pronounce your name because I can't even, but way to go, buddy. Jan Eric Edvardson. Now, I saw all 4 of your edits, and I like them all. I don't know how I feel about all of the filters just in general using it, but they do look cool. So, you know, it's pretty neat, and I wanted you guys to all take a look and notice this. This one, the saturation and the vignetting got me. I love really deep saturation. I love how rich it is. That all those bright colors. This trips my trigger, so to speak. So Kato, good job. Now, Kevel. This is my favorite, I have to say, because of the crop. Solid crop. You focused right in what was important. You weren't scared to get rid of the rest of the photo, which there's a lot of interesting things going on, but you went right for his face, and that's what I do. I always focused on certain things, even though that there's so much around that is so fun to look at. You went for an intense focus. I really, really like it. Mohammed Abdelhamed. This is a really nice black and white photo. You really edited it well. Same as you, Paulo Abreu. I like the toning that you added onto it, or tinting. Remember, I'm only an amateur photographer and a professional painter, so if I don't get these terms right, you know, Jared will correct me. This is really sharp. I like it. I love how the contrast, you bumped it up. And if you notice on his left side of the face, that reflected light underneath his eye, I think that's one of the coolest parts of this photograph. It looks like it's glowing. Photographics, really solid, and I think the vignetting is really good on this. I like it's almost like a sepia tone, but yeah, it's pretty good, and everything is very crisp and clear. So the edit that you did, I like that. There was a lot of people where the edits became grainy, and I'm not sure why that happened, but
it's because you have a D3100.
Oh, it's because I have a D3100, but apparently it's good enough to post this photo on the site, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, almost the same exact edit as the last one, except in color. And the quality of the photograph, something happened, so it looks like the resolution was poor. But I do like the colors, and I really like the edit. The reds in his cheeks and on his nose, you kept that in there. That is what he looks like in person. So, way to go. Stumpy. I really like this. It makes me want to see more. I kept staring at this photo saying, why didn't he put the light on there? Why didn't he show more? But that's what caught my eye. And it drags you in, and I can't stop staring at this version. And I love how rich the reds are on his nose. So again, with the saturation, sometimes I think it's nice to see something oversaturated. And you can even tell now that there's whiskey in that glass. Well, it's actually scotch. And it's actually Glenfiddich, because I brought the bottle. Thomas, really good edit. You know, again, the highlight on his left arm there, you can see a bit of the background, so it's not completely contrasted and blackened out. I'm not sure if you cropped this or not, quite frankly. I think it's showing the full frame. But again, it's just really nice to look at, and it's so crisp. So crisp. And that's something that I really, really appreciate in photographs, because sometimes I can't accomplish that in paint. And I believe that's the last one. So thank you guys. Oh, thank you guys so much for doing this. You know, it was so, I felt honored that all of you were editing a photograph of mine. And, you know, thanks. Here's Jared.
Nice job, nice job. Yeah, and, you know, it's just interesting. I wanted to jump in here and say that it's kind of interesting to see the photographer go ahead and pick people that did their edits. You know, it's a little different because I'm sitting here going, I like one thing, but it's not my photo. So what he likes, you know, talking about the darker image and how people fade away into the background, that may not be something that, you know, grabs my fancy for my own work, but I have to remember that this is Adam's photograph, and he has a vision for where it should be or where it would go, obviously, because that's what, you know, that's what he does. He has a vision, he sees what he wants to paint, and now he captures that in photos and turns around and you've always done that. You've captured always.
No, I paint from life and from photographs, but mostly I use the photographs as a reference point. And just like you guys use Lightroom, I just use my hands and my brain as my own Lightroom. So that's how my process is.
All right, so it's definitely cool, and it was really awesome that Adam stopped here before he heads away to where he's going. Am I allowed to say where you're going?
Absolutely.
He's going to Pittsburgh. He's going to Pittsburgh. He's getting out of Philly. It's been 7 years, I think, he's lived here, and he said it was time for a change. He got me to move into the city, and then a month later, he is leaving. So it is what it is. Love the photograph. Hey, Justine, how are you? She hasn't said yes yet, but you know, Adam, thank you for doing this. Thank you for supplying your photo. Great edits from everybody. I hope you enjoyed having somebody else sit in here. I liked listening to what he had to say because it's just different. It's hearing the photographer talk about their work and not, you know, we may not agree on certain edits, but that doesn't matter because it's his work and that's all that matters. So awesome.
I can't wait to hear what you guys think of the painting that I made from the photograph. So please send me all comments that you have.
Scratchandpaint.com. All right, Adam, thank you very much. Everybody out there, great job. Jared Poland, Fronos. Photo.com. See ya.